What up, YouTube? It's your girl Dee Dee. Welcome and welcome back to another live stream. I hope y'all are doing well. Happy Friday. So it is Friday, y'all. Shout out to everybody in the building, everybody watching. I hope you guys are having a great day. I hope you are doing well. It today is one of my son's birthdays, so I will not be keeping y'all too long, okay? Just wanted to throw that in there, but I do appreciate you guys for showing up and for supporting the channel. As you come into the building, make sure you hit the like button. Hit the like button. Also, put a one in the chat if y'all can hear me perfectly fine. Is the audio good? Let me know. Let me double check. Let me know. Put a one in the chat if the audio is good. Seems like it is. Let me know if you can hear me perfectly fine. One in the chat if the audio is good. As you come into the building, y'all, please hit the like button. Hit the like button. We need to make sure that the likes are up to par. We want to have just as many likes as we do people in the building. So make sure you are doing that. All right. Shout out to y'all. Shout out to y'all. Hope y'all are doing well. Listen, I want to send a little prayer for what's happening in LA and in California, you guys. People are losing it all. Like, people are losing their homes and everything that they own. And it's just a tragic situation. There's a lot going on with that. I'm not here to get into that, but I just want to send a little prayer to the people who have been affected by these fires, because it is just horrible. I mean, I've been watching the news and watching what's happening, and it's just not good. It's I mean, looking at it, you wouldn't think that we're here in America. You would think that this is somewhere foreign. The way everything is just burning to the ground, and nothing it can be done about it, or nothing's being done too much about it, which is crazy to me. And I do have my thoughts on that, but I just wanted to say something to anybody who may be living in that area or who may be going through that. I send my prayer goes out to you and hope all is well with you guys. So I just wanted to get that out the way. Shout out to Future King. What's going on, Future King? Successful MD in the building. Lee Turner, thank you so much for being here. It says good afternoon, Dee Dee and chat. Thank you for being here, Lee, and thank you for the super chat. I appreciate you. Keely Williams, shout out to you. Hope all is well with you. Who else in the building? Queen of Vibes. What's going on, Queen of Vibes? In the building. Hope all is well. Mariana Martinez. I hope I'm saying that right. Shout out to y'all. Lorenzo Redman in the building. Shout out to everybody watching. Fourth Dimension. Thank y'all so much for being here. So we're going to get into the live stream as you come into the building. Of course, please go ahead and hit the like button. Hit the like button. Hit the like button. And I do see ones in the chat so y'all can hear me. All right. Thank y'all so much. So you see the title, Delusional Woman Gets Dumped plus Marriage Isn't the Goal Once This Happens plus more. So we're going to talk about it. And this video has been circling all over social media about this woman who was dumped by her boyfriend. I want to know what y'all thoughts on it. Do you think he was wrong for dumping her? Once we listen to the story, I want to know if you think he was right for what he did or if he was in the wrong for doing this. So we're going to get into it. Chime in the chat. I definitely want to hear your thoughts on this particular video. So I'm going to go ahead and play the first clip for you guys. Here we go.
So I ghosted my boyfriend on New Year's Eve, and I have not spoken to him since. Before I get into this, I just want to say that me and my boyfriend, we have been together for a year. Well, almost a year, 11 months. A year on February 2nd, we will have been together. Okay? My boyfriend is also 34, grown man. He also is a homeowner, has a pretty good job, and also has a business that he's starting. So let's start there, right? So recently, I obviously, like you all know, I've become unemployed, and I have not been able to find a job. I have put in like 30 applications today. I've got nothing, like barely even an interview. I've gone on 2 interviews. So I've been literally struggling, and I no longer have the funds to afford these bills. Okay. Anyways, okay, I'm gonna keep it together for this. I'm not gonna get stressed out. I no longer have the funds to afford these bills. It's something so crazy about having hundreds of thousands of dollars one day and then the next day having nothing. But that's what's going on right now. And so I am vulnerable.
How do you go from having hundreds of thousands of dollars and then broke the next day? Now, I know things happen. Trust me. I know things happen, but how do you go from having And we know how you go from, you spend it. You spend it all. You go from having a lot of money to not having so much because a lot of women spend it up. You know what I mean? This is why they want a man to take care of them, because they want to feel comfortable spending their money the way they want to spend it all willy nilly. You know what I'm saying? So they want to be able to do what they want to do, how they want to do it. They don't want to think about the future or any of that, but they want the man to be the responsible one. They want the man to be the one to make sure, to pay for everything and prepare for the future, while they just could be reckless. Grown women, responsible, independent boss chicks, supposedly, they want to be able to spend their money how they want to without having any responsibilities. That's the whole point of getting a man to come in and pay all your bills and take care of you. You don't want to be responsible. That's clear. That's just what it is. Let's continue.
With my man, and I go, hey, I'm gonna need to like stay with you for a little while I get myself together. Like, I don't have anything on the rent, and so I'm gonna need to move with you while I get myself together. Mind you, I said he has his own house.
Lee, I don't know what that is on her neck. I don't think it's a tattoo. It looks more like a keloid or something. You know how your skin, that don't look like a tattoo. It look like maybe that's a part of her skin or something. I don't know. I was wondering too, but I don't think it's a tattoo, Lee. Let's continue.
His own 3-bedroom apartment in a nice neighborhood. He also has a best friend. His best friend lives with him, mind you, and has been living with him for however many years. He's like lived there almost the whole time he's lived there. And so I'm like, if his best friend can live with him, why not? He's over, So I'm like, hey, I need a place to stay. Which honestly, in hindsight, I shouldn't even have to ask for that. He knew I was struggling. He should have said, hey, let me take something off of your plate. Like, come stay with me so that you can breathe and get this. If he really cared about me, he would have said that, but he didn't. He sat there and he watched me struggle and then watched me get to the point where I was like, hey, I just need a break. Like, I'm literally so depressed. I'm losing my mind. I can't find anything. Can you please help me? And he said, no. He said, no. He said, no, you cannot live with me. Mind you, living with him is free. Doesn't cost him anything. He said, no. I can't live with him. At first, he goes, oh, I like that we have our own places to retreat to when we get into our arguments. And wrong answer. Number one, when we get into arguments, we never leave. Like, we stay in the same room and we continue to talk it out until we work it through, which I think is a really good habit that we have and a really good green flag that we have in our relationship. Yes, do we get into arguments? So does everyone. Yes, do I lose my cool? I'm a woman, but I rein it back in and we figure it out and nobody goes home. So that's a weird thing to say. We've never even done that. Second of all, that's like a problem to me, not a solution. When we get into arguments, we should not be leaving, because what happens when we get married? There's no way to go. You both live in the same house. So maybe that's not a good habit to start. Being that we have not started yet, maybe let's not start that now. On our very first date, I told him that I wanted to be engaged within a year. I said, after a year, I want to be engaged. He said that's plenty of enough time for someone to know whether or not they want to get married or not. This is what he said. We have talked about it, I shit you not, probably 10 times throughout this year. And never once did he say, I don't think this is going well enough for that to be a realistic goal anymore. Never once did he say, hey, like, let's pump the brakes. I don't think that we're doing that well for it to get to that. So,
well, maybe it just was going to take a little bit more time. Maybe he was still trying to figure out the situation to see if this is something he really wanted. And probably the scenario that she's pointing out, the fact that, she is claiming, that she lost her job and she's might be homeless and she wants to move in, him could have been a ploy. I don't know this woman. I don't know what the real deal is, but I wouldn't be surprised if that was, a falsehood. If that wasn't really the case, as I wouldn't be surprised if she wasn't in as dire of straits as she's making it seem to be. You know what I'm saying? I wouldn't be surprised because she wants to live with him. She's calculated the fact that she probably could just move in with him and she won't have to pay any bills anymore. And then she could just do whatever she wants willy-nilly with the money that she does have. You see what I'm saying? That's how women think a lot of times. So she's probably is not in as a dire straits as she's making it seem, and wanting him to kind of act upon that and jump and rush. And he probably knows that. That is probably why he told her no. I'm just saying. I mean, just from the outside looking in, he probably knows that. That's why he said what he said. And, hell, and nothing wrong with him wanting his space. Y'all are not married, so he does not have to allow you to come live with him. He wants his space, and you have your space. Why do you need to live with him? Live with him. But see, once again, this is the modern culture. This is the women who want to be boss chicks and you don't need no man. But then y'all get tired of paying them bills. You get tired of doing it by yourself. And so you want a man to come in and rescue you. That's just what it is. Just call a spade, child. Let's continue.
I'm thinking we're doing well. We're on schedule. after a year or a year and a half, we'll probably get engaged. Then he goes, I don't think I want to live with someone again until I'm married to them, which is some new boundary that he literally just made up because he's never said that the whole time we've been together. And I go, maybe it's not a good idea that you live with someone after you already got married to them, because what if you guys are not compatible to live together and you don't know that until after you're already married? Then what? That's really dumb, actually. And so I'm like, okay, that's a completely new thing, but granted, it's been a year. We set our goal for a year. Are we going to get married? And he goes, no, that was your goal. Since when was this my goal? It was my goal, but like, I thought we were in agreement.
No, because you said you told him that you want to be engaged after a year. That was your goal. He didn't tell you that's what he wanted. You told him that's what you wanted. So that's what you wanted. That it wasn't necessarily what he just went along with it. She clearly said she told him that she wanted to be engaged after a year. That's not something that he said to her. Because if he wanted that, if he wanted to really marry her, he would have married her already. It wouldn't have. He would already be working towards that and possibly already proposed to her. Just saying. Let's continue.
Because you never said that we weren't in agreement. Clearly, I made all this up in my head, and this was never a goal. I just thought it was a goal because I continuously talked about it, and he never said that it was unrealistic. As a matter of fact, he said the quite opposite, that it was a realistic goal to have, and never once, as we neared to the end of that year, did he ever say, hey, I don't think we're close to being married. So imagine my surprise when he says, I don't think we're close to being married. We still have things to figure out. Because a couple of nights ago, I got super irritated at him and yelled at him and told him to leave my house. And apparently that's enough of a reason for him to be like, whoa, I don't want to marry her.
The double standards. You just said earlier, she just said earlier that, hey, maybe we should live together so we'll know we get in arguments. We don't leave. We just work it out. But you just told him to get out of your place. Oh, but that don't count. Huh? This is why I say just let them talk. Just let them talk. Just let a woman talk, and she gonna tell on herself, right? And that's exactly what she just did. So now you talking all that, but then you told him to leave your place. Nah, in his mind, he's like, okay, that's a wrap. All right, nah, I don't think we need to live together. He's like, nah, I don't think this is gonna work. Probably in his mind. See, he's not gonna tell it to her. That's the thing. Men don't vocalize things the way we do. So he probably made up in his mind, okay, all right, I see, bet. I see how this is going, okay. Mental note, nah, I ain't doing that. You know what I'm saying? Successful MD, thank you for the super chat. Says, I think he saw her true intentions, probably. How do you lose hundreds of thousands so fast? She ghosted him hoping he would beg her to come. Finesse failure by her. I agree. Thank you, Successful MD, for the super chat. I agree. I think he realized what it was, and he was like, nah, this ain't what I want to do, And she trying to bogart her way into his house, I'm thinking, to try to, secure the bag or whatever, make sure she can get in there. And once she in the door, her true nature comes out, and now she's there and she don't have to worry about her bills and all that kind of stuff, Yeah, I agree. She did, I'm this was, she did him a favor by ghosting him and allowing him to move on with his life, because she's probably not the one from what I'm hearing so far. You know what I'm saying? Let's continue.
All right. So yeah, and so I said, hey, I'm actually scared that I'm going to be homeless because I said I'm actually thinking I'm going to be homeless because I don't have a job and these bills keep coming and I can't do it no more. I'm tapped out of resources, and I think I'm gonna end up, if you don't let me live with you, I'm gonna end up in my car, living in my car, something like being actually homeless. And he goes, well, plenty of millionaires have lived in their car before.
Girl.
What the fuck? So basically he said, yeah, no, I'm not gonna help you. I'm sorry that you're dealing with this. I know it's hard, but basically he told me that you never really do have anybody to depend on, and you come alone in this world, and you are your own person, and you should be your number one priority because nobody else is going to be dependable, which I translated to, he is not someone I can depend on. Why would I ever marry someone that I can't depend on? I'm a dependable person. I've had friends that I've let stay with me, that I've given a place to stay for free, that I've been able to say, hey, you can lean on me. Don't worry about nothing. Take a break. I got you. So if I can be dependable to my friends, you can be dependable to your girlfriend. It's not a crazy concept. Yeah, we do come in this world alone, but relationships are the whole reason of everything. You should be able to depend on the people around you, on your community. They should be people that you can say, hey, you do owe a responsibility to the people you love and the people you care about.
Well, I mean, maybe he don't see you as being that dependable person. Maybe he see that you're not what you're asking for. Maybe he realized, hey, he can't depend on you. In the first, could he come live with you if he lost his job? Probably not. A lot of these women would be ready to move on. The first thing they would say is, "Oh, that's not you, my husband." So I'm not required to do that, or you're a grown ass man and you need to be able to do this. A lot of these women don't give what they're asking for. So he realized you might not be the person who would reciprocate that, and he just don't want to waste his time. He seems like he's stable. He has a house. You know what I mean? He seems like he's doing well. She said, he got it together. And you're the one who's struggling, trying to, mooch off of that person. Even though you're independent and you taking care of yourself, you're probably struggling doing it. Especially if you're saying you went through that amount of money in such a short period of time and now you want him to take care of you. No, you are a responsible adult and you need to take care of yourself. That's not your husband. So he owes you nothing. Y'all were in dating. And once again, I think that there's more to the story. There's always more. They don't usually tell you every single thing. I think there's something being left out here. For real. I think there's something left out. But let's continue.
And apparently he doesn't think that way. And I don't think I can be in a relationship with someone who doesn't think that way. And so I decided that I kind of ghosted him. I just stopped talking to him and I probably will never speak to him again. That really turned me off. And yeah, that's why I broke up with my boyfriend, because he said it was okay that I be homeless. I should be homeless while he goes home to his 3-bedroom house in a nice neighborhood and rubs his feet together under his nice comforter set, his nice sheet set, and watches his 70-inch TV on the wall and twiddles his thumbs together. Well,
are you salty? Are you mad? Are you jelly? Sound like you jealous. He goes home to his 3-bedroom house and he can rub his feet together, his comfortable sheets. And are you mad? Like this is, I tell you, I tell y'all, listen, a lot of these women are in competition with these men. They want to be like a man. They want to be able to call the shots and then have an attitude while they're doing it. You're jealous of this man? I mean, the way you talking, that sound like a jealous person to me. You jealous that he got a house and he's doing well and you the one struggling about to be homeless? Come on now. Don't do that. And you mad because he don't want you to come mooch off of him? That he realized you're an independent boss chick, you don't really need him? Why would he subject himself to that? See, I think this is good. I think this is progress, and then I think a lot of men do think like this. They're not willing to let these women just, maybe y'all doesn't seem like y'all have established a relationship that would, where he would feel comfortable with allowing you to come live with him. Because if he felt that way, she probably would have already been living with him. I'm just saying. It's something else going on here. It's not this cut and dry, in my opinion. But let's continue.
I'm out in my car in the cold. Talking about he's gonna give me a blanket for Christmas so I don't be cold. You gonna get you a new bitch for Christmas. I ain't even. Okay, so I have come to clear my day.
Now,
because it's getting crazy in the comments.
So this is another video where she's defending herself because I guess they came for her in the comments. Yeah, she said he'll get her a blanket for Christmas so she could be warm. I don't know if I believe this story. I don't know if I believe it. I think this was probably made up. I'm just saying for clicks and views. That's what I'm thinking. I don't think this is real. I don't. But let's continue to see what she's saying.
I just want to answer some questions and clarify some things about the situation of, if you didn't watch the last video, basically my boyfriend said I should live in, it's okay that I be homeless, live in my car. And he wasn't going to help me. I think this whole situation, I've just finished crying. This whole year has just been horrible for me, but y'all don't care. Let's get straight to it. So the roommate situation, when he moved in that house, people were asking me, how do I know it's his house? I know it's his house because when I first even went to this house, he had like frames on the wall, like pictures of himself that he had blown up and put on the wall in the living room. Also, he has like pictures of when he bought the house, like holding a little, sold sign. When I asked him about why he had his best friend living with him, he told me that a little while after he had moved in, he had started to get, it was quiet. He didn't say he was lonely. He said that it was quiet. The house was too quiet. I don't know if he asked the best friend or the best friend asked him, but the best friend was there. Is he paying bills? People are asking me, is the best friend paying rent? I don't know, y'all. I know for sure that he's not paying utilities. I don't know if he's paying rent or not. He's also not the only person that lives in that house, okay? He has this Asian guy that was living with him in the third bedroom, because there's 3 bedrooms. When I first asked him how does he know this Asian guy, he said that he was a friend of a friend, one of his friends, I think in DC or New York, something like that, had a friend.
All of this is irrelevant. Who cares? That's his house. He can allow you. Maybe they're roommates. Maybe they're paying something. Why this? I mean, look, he don't want you there. Just keep it moving. Why make videos about it? A successful MD says, "I'm smelling a crazy catfish that wants clouds." Yeah, this just doesn't make any sense. And why would you go to the extreme of posting something like this? Just move on. This is how petty a lot of these people are. Just move on. Girl, he don't want you there. He don't want you there. It didn't work out. Move on. Y'all don't need a man, but you want one. Go get another one. Go find another one who will give you what you want. Go do that. Stop focusing on him and his friends and who he want at his house. It's his house. He can do what he want there. And if just just because you're mad because he don't want you there, that's a whole nother story. This is all irrelevant. Who he got at his house, who's staying there, that's his business. Let's continue.
Brandon, who was moving to Charlotte for a job and needed a place to stay. That's what his original story was. When I asked him again, like when we were talking about the roommate situation and me feeling like, I don't think you should have roommates, you have a good job.
That ain't your
He was
business.
saying like, oh, me and the Indian, we're good friends. We're really good friends. Him and the Asian guy, we're really good friends. I don't know when they became really good friends because at first he said that it was a friend of a friend. I don't know if he's a liar or, I mean, I technically.
And listen, and if y'all saw the comments, in the comments, people, you know what the assumption was, because he have male friends living in his house. Automatically, you're a bunch of women in the comments. Girl, that's his man. Girl, that's his man. He don't want you. No, he probably don't want her. But why do they always got to go to insulting a person and disrespecting them? Everybody that has roommates is not, because I mean the same could be said about a bunch of these women who have the roommate with other women that y'all bumping coochies. You know what I'm saying? Who knows? They could assume that about y'all because y'all the ones going on all these girls trips and be doing God knows what with each other. So I mean, this idea that he's got to be gay because he has roommates or have friends over at his house, that is crazy to me. Everybody just assumed that, but nobody's paying attention to all these women who are doing what they're doing in the name of girlfriends and girls trips. Come on now, stop. And y'all don't care about that. Y'all got y'all good, trans girlfriends and whoever. Why? How do y'all care if somebody's gay or not? I'm just saying. Why does that always go to? It's so old now and so expected. This is the first insult that they go to. Oh, he must be gay. He must be this and all that. Nah, he just don't want you, honey, child. They just don't want you. How about that? And you just mad about it.
It's possible that he started off as a friend of a friend and became really good friends with him, but now he's telling me, oh, that's his really good friend. So here's when I realized that, and is the Indian man paying rent? I don't know, y'all. And these are probably questions I should have asked, but I didn't want to get too deep into his business. He's also super mysterious. Like, he answers questions in a way that makes me think that he don't want to answer them. So here's when I realized that maybe it's not what I seen. I was on Facebook scrolling. I found this like roommate group on Facebook of people posting like, I'm renting this room, and people who are looking to move into people's houses. I find this group. I already think y'all already know what's about to happen. I find this group. I'm scrolling in the group, looking at all the possibilities of people renting their rooms in Charlotte, because maybe I might be homeless, maybe I might need to rent a room. So I come across a house, and I'm like, hold on. I know this house. I've seen this house before. This is his house. I click the profile. This is his name. So he's renting a room in his house for $1,000, utilities included. So I don't know if it's his best friend that's moving out or the Asian guy. I assume it's the Asian guy. His best friend is 40, mind you. And he's been living there for a while. I don't think he's going anywhere anytime soon. But I'm assuming that the Asian guy moved out. He never told me that the Asian guy was moving out. He never discussed this with me. I mean, it's not my house, but we had conversations about like if we're going to get married. We can't get married if there's people living here. And he decided to omit that information. Why he decided not to tell me that the Asian guy was moving, I'm sure he had his reasons, but he never told me that. It was a big shock and surprise. When I texted him about it, he said, oh, I said, is this your house? He said, oh, LOL, yeah, that's my house. Whatever that means.
So he decided to rent rooms out in his house. What's wrong with that? He has the right to do that. It's his house. If he want to make some extra money renting rooms out, that's his business. You can't, you don't really have no skin in the game. That ain't really your business. Like that ain't, you have your own place. He has his place and he can do what he want to do. Clearly, I don't know. This honestly didn't sound like a real solid relationship, to be honest. It could have been somebody that she was just dating, but they weren't really like, the relationship wasn't confirmed. I'm just gonna. It doesn't sound like this was really somebody he was claiming. Like, this is really your girl and y'all really together. Because I don't see things going like this. This sounds like somebody she was dating and it just didn't work out. It don't sound like they were really together. You know what I'm saying? That's what it sounds like to me. But hey, I could be wrong. Let's continue.
Okay, so the other thing I want to speak on, because there's so much to say and it's not even going to fit in this video either. So he's African, he's Ghanaian. A lot of people ask what ethnicity he was. He's African. He is currently in Africa. He left the day before Thanksgiving. He's been gone ever since. This is not the first time he's gone to Africa. When I said he has an okay job, I meant he has a good job. He makes 6 figures at his job. He's highly educated. He also has a business that he's starting on the side. He's doing, I don't want to tell you too much information.
Ma'am, he got options. You just wasn't his pick. He wasn't his pick. That's what that is. This man has options. He ain't wasting his time with you. Yeah, I don't believe it was a relationship. I really don't believe it was a relationship. Now, I think it was just a situationship or whatever, and she thought she could finesse him and she could not. Successful MD says, wise woman told me you can tell a lot by her eyes. Okay. How so? Thank you for the super chat. How so? What do you see? What do you look for in the eyes, Successful MD? Yeah, I don't believe this story though. Thank you, Successful MD, for this. I don't believe it. I think she was a chick on you know what I mean, a situationship. I don't think they was really in a serious relationship. I don't. Let's continue though.
Because I want y'all to know who he is, because I don't know. And he's doing real estate. He's starting a real estate company in Ghana. He's there right now checking on the house that he's building to sell. He's building a house there to sell. He's gone to Ghana before. In like June to August, he went to Ghana. He said he was going to stay for a month. He stayed for 2.5 months. It created a significant strain in our relationship, but he came back, everything's fine. He decided to tell me that he was going to go to Ghana throughout the holiday season. I said, I don't think that's a good idea. This is our first holidays together. I think we should be together for our very first holidays. He tells me, no, I have to go. I need to oversee some things that are going on with the project. It's way past due. The house has been supposed to be built. I need to be there. I'm thinking, what kind of things are they going to be doing over the holiday season? Like, it's freaking Christmas. What are they going to be doing? Like, what tools are you going to get in? People are going to be on break. But he said that he needed to be there to oversee some things. He did not take no for an answer. And then when I pushed him about it, he said, well, you get to see your family all the time. I'm going to go see my family. Now it becomes less of, I'm going to check on the house, and more of, I want to see my family for Christmas. What he's really doing there, I don't know. Do I think that maybe he has a secret family there because people keep asking me that? I don't know, man. I don't know the damn thing. I'm focused on the bills, okay? I need somebody to pay these bills. I'm not concerned about if he has secret families in Ghana. He said he would be...
And see, that's the problem. There we go. You know, the truth always prevails. That's the issue. She just worried about somebody trying to pay her damn bills. She looking for a sugar daddy or, you know, a sponsor or whatever you want to call it. She looked for somebody to help her out. And he realized that. And he was like, nah, I'm not doing that. No, ma'am, Miss Pam. She probably knew this man could, who knows? He could have a family over there. Who knows? Maybe she knows about it. But, you know, she wanted more from him and he didn't give it to her because he know what's up. Once again, I called it. I don't think that this was a real relationship. I don't. I think it was a situationship where she thought she could finesse him. She thought, hey, he got good money. He doing well. Maybe I could get something out of this. And that was it. When she couldn't get anything out of it, now make a video and tell us what you want to tell us, you know, and not the real truth. You know what I'm saying? Let's continue.
Be back for New Year's. Clearly he's a liar, so he's not here. He's still not here. And I think that space though was what I needed to give me distance to be able to look at the relationship from a different point of view. Also, for the people that are asking me, why can't I just go live with my parents? My father is dead. He died of cancer when I was 12, and my mom is not really doing well. Also, I live in a completely different state than all my family lives in, and I don't even know if I have the funds to like travel to a different state. When we had the conversation about me moving in and I told him that I needed to move in with him, I asked him, y'all. I know I said in the video, but I asked him, I said if it was okay, and that's why he gave me the response that no, it's not okay. He ended up saying like, we're not moving in until we're married, so if you're ready to get married, I'm ready to get married. Really, that's not the proposal of my dreams. I don't know if it's anybody else's proposal, and I don't know if he was serious or not, like, but to say like, oh, we got married because I was almost homeless is not the proposal of my dreams. It was very demeaning for him to just say that, like, oh, let's just get married then. Since you're ready to move in, let's just get married. That was very demeaning. I didn't appreciate that. I didn't like that. And I felt like that was the catalyst for me to say, I don't, even if you offered me a place to stay right now, I wouldn't even move in because now I feel like I've begged you for it. I don't want anything that I had to fight for. I don't want a man to do something for me because I begged him to do it. I want him to do something for me because he wants to do something for me. So if you don't have it in you, you're not my man. Maybe you're somebody else's man, but this isn't going to be for me. So thanks everybody for tuning in. Like, this is the highlight of my year because it's been horrible. It's been hard, but I thank everybody for saying nice things and backing me because I was starting to think that maybe I was the one in the wrong and that I had unrealistic goals. So thanks.
Well, yeah, I don't. I think you were in the wrong. I do, and and if you're saying you don't want anything that you have to fight for, then baby, just prepare to be single, honey. Be prepared to be single. Come on now. You got to put in the work. And that's what a lot of women don't want to do. You think it's supposed to come easy. Well, these men got to work and take care of themselves and put in the work to build themselves up. And then they want you just want to come in and mooch off of their success. And then, then have an attitude with it too. You're not even grateful. You're not even, you know what I'm saying? You're not even appreciative. You want to, you want something for nothing. That man was not wrong for not allowing you to come live in his space because he knew something that we probably, we didn't, that we don't see. But I could clearly see, he wasn't taking you seriously. I don't even believe it was a relationship. I don't. People post all types of stories on these apps, and they a lot of times it's a bunch of cap. Successful MD says those large pupils are saying I'm cray cray. Okay, so that's how you know the crazy in the eyes because of the large pupils. Okay, I didn't know that. I didn't know that. Oh Lord, thank you for the super chat, successful MD. Baby, look, I call cap on this story. I don't believe it. I just don't. I don't believe it. I think it was for, to give the girls, give the hyenas, the modern women something to, to talk about and make them feel good or whatever so they can say, "Oh girl, the sisterhood could come out in droves and tell her how wrong he was per usual. The man is always wrong. The women are always right." You know what I'm saying? I don't believe this story. I think it was I don't believe it. I don't believe it. I really don't. But it is what it is. But I don't think he was wrong for making the decision that he made. That's his space. And I don't, as a grown woman, you shouldn't feel offended by that, and you shouldn't be mad. You should move on, and continue to live your life, figure it out. Because once again, if it was him who didn't have a place to stay and he needed your help, these women would not want to help. They don't feel or believe that it's their responsibility to help a grown man. So why do you think it's a man's responsibility to help a grown woman? No, figure it out. Y'all gonna figure it out. Y'all gotta figure it out anyway. If he told you no and you don't have any other options, you gotta figure it out. He doesn't have to do what you want him to do. You know what I mean? He's not obligated to you. Y'all not married. Y'all not in this. I don't even think they together. What's together, in my opinion? Just based off of what she's saying and how she's saying it, I don't think they were really together. So it's not his responsibility because it's just not. And so, yeah, I think she was in the wrong and you should move on. Why everything got to be a video? You don't have to go make a video about a person making their own decision about what they want to do with their stuff. Come on now, that's childish in my opinion. So yeah, I thought that was just crazy, and I don't think he was wrong at all. I really don't. All right, let's move on. We're gonna move on, you guys. I have another clip I want to play for you guys, and I want you to chime in the chat. Make sure you chime in the chat. Also, hit the like button, y'all. Please go hit the like button. 133 watching, and we only have 53 likes. Come on now, 140 watching with 53 likes. Hit the like button. Hit the like button. Here we go.
Yeah, they all say marriage isn't a goal when they can't get the man that they want, or in her case, leave a man thinking that she was going to get something better and she's still on the market. And another thing about these women who didn't maintain their own marriages or can't seem to get married in the first place, they love to talk about how people are unhappily married or what have you. Well, divorce is the new happy. So if these people are allegedly unhappily married, why aren't they getting divorced? Another thing is, why is it the main women talking about how they don't want marriage or they divorced a husband for to find themselves or thinking that the grass was greener on the other side? Why is it that they want to walk down the aisle again? Sounds like sour grapes to me.
Listen, no lies detected. I agree with what she's saying. This post, it says Lala Anthony believes that marriage is no longer a goal, stating that most of the married people she knows are miserable. Any thoughts? So this is something that you hear a lot, and typically when you hear women speak on this, is women who have never been married or women who are divorced, like the case of Lala Anthony. And I think the point that this one of the points that this lady made was the fact that a lot of the women who have become divorced, they're still looking for love. And they all say that they will get married again. So if marriage was such this miserable thing, why would you want to do it again? And why are you if it's so you're so happy being by yourself and you're so happy, being single, why are you still out here dating? Why are you still out here looking for love? I say it all the time. It doesn't make any sense. It doesn't go hand in hand. You portray this idea that, oh, all these married people are just so miserable, but they still together. Oh, but they're miserable. They don't have a happy day in their life. They all just, marriage ain't the goal. It ain't the goal. Well, what is the goal? Because my only other thought to that is the fact that marriage is not the goal, but what being a 304 is? Being a hoe out here going from dude to dude, because you're trying to get them to pay your bills. That's the flex. Is that the goal? If marriage is not the goal, then what is? And this is something a lot of women don't really want to talk about. They don't, just want to talk and gloss over the what the deal really is. And this is part of the reason why a lot of women don't want to get married young, because they're trying to chase a whole dream. That's what it is. They're not out here trying to get married because marriage, I don't want to be tied down. You hear them say that all the time. The goal is not marriage, baby. All we want to do, we don't want to be tied down to a man. We got options. That's what that lady said in that video. We got options. Options to do what? When you think about it, what are your options? Because it seems to me that these women have all these options when they're young, so they must be choosing to be hoes, right? Is that what it is? Because what other options you have? The end goal is to get married, in my opinion. The end goal would be to find a man that that you are compatible with, and y'all have the same goals, or y'all have the commonalities and things in common, that y'all like each other and y'all want to get together, get married, build a family. If that's not what you're trying, if that's not the end all be all, what is it? Because you can go and get a career and still have a husband and a family. All other races of people do it. It doesn't have to be a one or the other. So what is your goal? Because all of these women, you got Melissa Ford out here as the cat lady out here talking about making it seem like she's so happy and where she is at almost 50 years old. And you have all these Vivica Fox and all Lisa Ray, all these other older bras out here still. What do they all have in common? They want a man. They still saying they want a man, and they having a hard time because you had all the options in the world, but somehow all the options that you once had, you don't have as many as you did at this point. But you still want love. And this is why I call cap on people who say, women who say they're single by choice, because I don't believe that. I think that's a bunch of BS. You're not single by choice. You're single because you ran out of choices. You ran out of options. So this is all you left with. So it's the nature of most women to try to justify their situations and justify their actions and where they are. They don't want to be honest about it because they're afraid that it may make them look bad. So yeah, it's not, you have all these options to do what? Because honestly, if you just want to be a hoe, just say that. Just say, hey, I don't want a man. I want to throw this cooch on every man that I can. I want to try to get to the highest bidder. I just want to go out here and sell myself, because that's what it sounds like they want to do. You want to put yourself on the market in a way that you can, be for everybody, not just one man, because being with one man is not going to pay you the way you're trying to get paid. Just say that this cooch is for sale. I'm out here. I'm trying to run it up with the highest bidder. If I can get 20, 30, 40, 100, 1,000 men to pay me, I'm going to get to the bag and I'm going to have what I need. being with a man and having a family, one man is not going to do that for you if that's your goal. So if this is the question I would ask, if marriage and family is not your goal, what is? Because the only other options they seem to have, and even those options run out. The only option that you seem to have when you're younger is to go out, throw that cooch on every man that wants you because you're popular, you're in your prime, you're attractive, you're fit, and you got all this going on. If you're an attractive person, you have options to be the biggest hoe that you could possibly be till you get to them late 30s, 40s, and the whole phase is running out because ain't too many men checking on you because there are other young attractive women that they can go after. So now you're not in your prime anymore. You're not the target. You're not the most attractive. Now your options are dwindling. So now what's the goal? When you hit 40, this is why they talk about women hitting the wall, because once you hit the wall, now you realize you don't have as many options. So now you want to get married and settle down, and you don't have that option to do so because most men are not and on top of that, you're entitled. You think you deserve more than you did when you were in your 20s, even on top of the fact that you was out here throwing that cooch on everybody, ran that body count out. You have a lot more against you than you have for you when it comes to dating, but they don't see it that way. They see it as, oh, I'm more mature now. I know what I want. So you didn't want it then, now you want it, but you have a higher body count and you're not as, great as you were according to what men are looking for. But now you think your standards are super high because you don't realize where you stand. You don't see yourself. You still think you're that 25-year-old attractive, more slimmer woman. You think you're more attractive now. So just because you know your worth doesn't mean that what your worthiness is based on is what men are looking for when they're looking to get a woman. Your worth does not equate to what a man is looking for and what he values. Because the very things that men value are the things that these women can't offer. And listen, like I said, it's your life. You can live your life the way you want to. I'm not condemning your lifestyle choices. I'm just saying it comes with consequences. That's the difference. When you hear women talking, they're like, "Oh, you try to shame them." No, I'm just trying to point out to you that if you don't want to prioritize husband, family, you don't want to be a wife, you don't want to lock it down with one man, for the rest of your life, that means you want to be a hoe. That means you want to explore. You want to go look at your options. And in the process of exploring and viewing your options, what do you typically get out of that? You typically get babies out of wedlock and a high body count and more negative experiences with men and that doesn't seem to be working. That's what I'm saying. If y'all see that this is not working, why not change that narrative instead of trying to still push this whole culture on young women and tell them, hey, don't jump and get married. Go out and explore your options and see what's out there. And then just to end up by yourself. It doesn't make any sense to me. It really doesn't. But I get it. But we see that is not yielding great results. We see that all it is creating is more hoes, old hoes, young hoes, just hoes across the world. And these men don't want that. Men who want family and families, they don't want to be cuffed up with hoes. And they try to, and it's just like, come on. If you know that this is what men don't want, why do you constantly put yourself out there just to show that, oh, I'm empowered. I don't care what y'all, you don't care what a man wants because you want to do what you want to do. But then as you get older and you don't have as many options, now you're shaming the men instead of taking accountability to say, you know what? I went out there. I was a hoe. I chose this. So now I got to accept the consequences. I can respect people who actually understand what it is and what they chose and the consequences thereof. That's it. That's it. You could, if that's what, this is why I say to people, I respect hoes who admit that they're hoes and that's the choice they want and they don't want nothing else. And they ain't blaming nobody. They ain't shaming no man. They ain't talking about all the men are bad and this ain't no, this is just what I want. I know it's messed up. Either they had a messed up life or they just, just checked out and they like, this is all out. I'm good for it. This is what, and that's what you want. You ain't shading people and, what can you do with that? But respect it. It ain't my life choices, but if that's your choice and you solid on what you believe, what you want, I wouldn't recommend it. But at the same time, I can't control other people's choices. But when you choose to do that and then you're in denial about it and you start shaming and blaming people, then that's when it becomes a problem. Because and trying to force men to wanting you and all the kids that you created in that whole phase, like that, these men don't have to accept that. And I think that's the part that women don't like. You don't like the consequences of your choices. You just want to be able to do whatever you want to do, no matter how reckless it is, and you want people to accept it. That is the real problem. That the problem is not you making as individuals, you can do what you want to do. Because nobody can control you or stop you. But understand there are consequences associated with it, and that's the part they really hate. Success Family says these women definitely keep Dr. Miami wealthy. Right. They do. They really do. Thank you, Successful MD. Because they think that, what do you think all these BBLs and all this is for? It's not to sit down and twiddle your thumbs. You're not getting that for a husband. You're not trying to build your body up to please your man. You're one man. You're not trying to do that shit. You're trying to go out and show that ass to as many men as you can. You're trying to go out and let these men see what it do, hoping that they might, take you seriously at some point. The ones that you want. And all they're running into is just getting them cheeks clapped and being passed around, and then you get older and you realize, oh, back in my day, I was a firecracker. Yeah, I had all the men's. You had all the men, but ain't nobody took you seriously, boo. Ain't nobody saying, look, I want to be with you and only you, and let's do this. And a lot of these women aren't prepared for that anyway. Been ran through and washed up, and now you're older, and now you have all these super unrealistic expectations, and now you want men to do the most for you, and you're not even realistic with that. Maybe you could find somebody if you were more realistic, maybe, because from what I'm hearing from these men are saying, hell nah, we don't want none. They like, nah, it's too late. But I mean, look, maybe if you had realistic ideals, if you had more realistic, a more realistic approach as to what is acceptable in relationships and understand men, if you could turn it around, maybe, possibly, that's why I say maybe, possibly, you could find somebody that could work with you. But especially if you got to be attractive, you can't be overweight. But on top of all of that, your standards are unrealistic, and that makes it worse. That these men they're not even trying to do anything with you because they don't want to deal with the hassle and they don't want to deal with the trouble of it all. So this is why I say, look, anything is possible. That don't mean it's likely. And a few instances that women like to point out, oh, well, my girlfriend, she was a stripper for years and she got a husband. Okay. Okay. How many women you see like that? It's not a whole lot. So yeah, that's why I say all of this exists, but it's not a whole bunch of hoes out here with husbands that they've been married to for 15 and 20 and 30 years. It's not. It's just not. K Picture says, Lemon character moving his head from left to right with his mouth wide open and red hearts in his eyes. Child. Thank you for the super chat, K Picture. I appreciate you. Successful MD says, oh Lord, good men value peace over a piece daily. Facts. For sure. And they say it all the time. Thank y'all so much for the super chat. I appreciate you. They say it all the time. A lot of these women are just a headache. You don't bring peace to a man. You bring a headache and a bunch of trauma and a bunch of nonsense that nobody want to have to deal with in their 40s and 50s. Anybody don't want, when you've worked hard and you've built yourself up to a point and you say you are older, you 40s, 50s, whatever, who wants to deal with and even the men with the money don't want to deal with them. They want them to look pretty and shut the hell up and give me what I want. That's it. They don't want you talking. The minute you start look at what's his name? What's that rapper? The big rapper. What's his name? Damn it. What is his? I can't think his name for nothing. What is his name? The big rapper who just let that girl go. Who just broke up with his girlfriend from New Orleans. She from New Orleans. He just broke up with her because she probably was talking too much. Talking about a launch party for her products. And he was like, okay, I'm done. What is his name? Rick Ross. Rick Ross just broke up with his latest girlfriend or whoever, or showpiece. She's probably talking too much. You know what I mean? He's done. They just recently got together and he done already. Was already seen with another chick. So even the men with the money and all these options of picking the pick of the litter of women that they want, They don't want you talking. They want you quiet. They want you to look pretty, shut the hell up, and let me run the show. You just are along for the ride. And when they get to talking and thinking that they can finesse and get something out of them, they're like, oh, okay, all right, I'm out. On to the next. Because a lot of these women think that that they think that they can finesse these guys. They can get money out of them and all of that. Raw TV says he's from Florida. Not Rick Ross. I know Rick Ross is from Florida. The girl he was dating, she's from New Orleans. The last girl he was dating is from New Orleans. But they really try to finesse these dudes, and these dudes are aware. We're in 2025. They know what's going on. These men know that these women are only in it for clout. They know that these women are what they're in it for, because they know what they're in it for. They see something they like, they want a piece of that, they get it. When they're done with it, on to the next. They're not even taking these women seriously. So at least they know what the game is. A lot of these women are trying, and they're trying hard, and they're failing. So, I say that to say, listen, the jig is up, I think, mostly. It's getting old and tired, and everybody know what's going on. So a lot of these women aren't getting what it is that they really want, and they're pissed about it. They're frustrated about it. But they don't want to really do the right things in order to get exactly what they want. So it's going to be a tough time for a lot of these particular women who are out here just trying to finesse dudes and out here just trying to use men for money and stuff. These men aren't allowing it to happen. What's going on, J-Dub? I appreciate you for being here. Yeah, so they're going to have to figure something out. The whole culture and whole business is drying up. Like, OnlyFans is not OnlyFans anymore. They're not making all that money like they used to. So they're going to have to figure something out. You're going to have to get it together. You know what I mean? You're going to really have to start to rethink your life and your life's choices. You're really going to have to try to, get it together for real and stop thinking that you can get a bag off a man, because these men are wiser and they don't want to have to deal with that. And it's going to be a difficult time for men too, because y'all don't have real. If y'all trying to have a family for real, like, it's going to be difficult to try to find somebody to create that with. So it's just a bad look all overall, in my opinion. I'm just saying, bad look overall for the way the dating market is, and how a lot of these women are, and how how it's all playing out. It's not looking good. It's really not. So let's move on, y'all. I have another clip we're gonna react to. Make sure you guys are hitting the like button. Please hit the like button as you come into the building. Hit the like button. We're gonna move on to the shenanigans. I like to save that for last. We're gonna get into another hot mess scenario. So make sure you get ready. Chime in the comments. I want to hear your thoughts on this one. So here we go.
Hello?
Hi.
I can't see your face, boo.
I look a mess. Hello.
Hey, are you ready to be here, baby? You call me.
Yes.
Okay, you gotta put the phone down so we can see your face, boo.
All right, hold on. Let me get up. Hello. Can you see me? I need to put a hat on.
We see the plants. Those fake plants. You ready, baby? Okay.
Yeah.
What's your name, honey?
Shariah.
You're so close. Move back a little bit. Is that a crying baby?
Yes.
Is that your baby?
Yes.
How old's your baby?
3. I have twins.
You have 3-year-old twins?
Yes.
Why you not with their dad?
Oh, crazy.
What happened?
Crazy.
Okay, there we go with that. Successful MD says by 2035, Walmart will be selling human clones, baby. Lord have mercy. No. Thank you for Successful MD. So already this is throwing me off, because we hear this all the time. Oh, well, why you not with that? Oh, he crazy. You just not found out he was crazy, baby. You just found out he was crazy? For real? When did he become crazy? You didn't know he was crazy when you decided to have babies with him? It's the same talking points. Let's continue.
Who's crazy?
He was crazy. He was like a bad relationship for like 3 years.
Why you have kids by him?
I was young. Well, I'm still young. I'm 25.
Go back. Go back to the mirror. We need light, sweetheart. I'm trying to work with you, baby. We need
Okay.
light, honey.
Okay.
Okay. And you gotta get the phone steady so I can see your face. Now tell me your name again.
Shariah.
Shariah. And where you calling me from?
I'm Henderson. Well, Oxford, North Carolina.
You're so close to the phone, baby girl. You have to move the phone.
Oxford, North Carolina. And I'm gonna take my hat off because this month is my birthday month, and I'm all about natural. So this is what I look like without no wig on, no makeup, no eyelashes, no nothing.
But man, put the hat back on. Put it back on. Just put it back on. And I don't think I don't think she's an ugly woman, but ma'am, it's not about being natural. It's about you could be natural, but you could comb your natural hair. You know what I mean? You could still style it. It's not a you just because you're natural don't mean it has to look like look a hot mess. That's all I'm saying. You know what I mean? You could be natural and still style your hair. It doesn't have to just look like anything. Like you know, like you didn't put any effort or anything to it. You know what I mean? And it ain't about wigs and lashes and all. That's about just coming presentable. What happened back in the day when people didn't wear all these wigs and all this stuff? Didn't they comb their hair? Didn't they? You had different short styles, medium length styles, long styles. You could still style your hair just because it's natural. I mean, you can't. You could put it in a ponytail, put it in a bun, like groom yourself, make yourself look decent. That's all. That's all. Pharaoh, what's going on, Pharaoh? How are you? Says we need more African women. They never waste your time in a relationship and got that jiggly jiggle cakes. You definitely get a 5-star dominatrix. Thank you, Maverick. I mean Maverick. Lord Maverick. Pharaoh. I called you Maverick. Thank you, Pharaoh. I appreciate you for the super chat. Even though it's funny as hell, you're funny. But thank you. I appreciate you for being here, Pharaoh. Let's continue, baby.
You got the. Do you want to go check on the kids?
Say it again.
Do you want to go check on the kids?
Do I have other kids?
Do you want to go check on the kids, or are you good?
Oh no, they're fine.
Okay. So Shariah, right?
Mm-hmm.
You gotta bring the phone back, baby girl. There we go.
And let me say this, you know, listen. I have children. Y'all know most of my kids are grown. But when they were small, they were well behaved. You know what I'm saying? Like there's a way and once again, I'm not trying to I don't want to sound mean or anything, and I understand having children, the children are going to cry and things of that nature. But there's a way to do it. There's a way to do it. When you're on a phone call, look, you make sure the kids are in a particular spot. You know what I mean? They're taken care of. They're quiet, or you get out of the area of where they are, but making sure that they're secure and they're good and nothing's going to happen to them while you're not in front of them. When you have toddlers, I remember having playpens. You put them children in a playpen. Give them their little sippy cup. If it's just put them in and until you get off your phone call or whatever you're doing, you put them in. Just don't have them running around walking loose, especially when they like 1 and 2 years old. You put those kids in their little play area, their little play pen, and you give them their little blocks, big toys, not something they could choke on, and you let them sit there and play while you're on your phone call or whatever you're doing. Let them have their little playtime securely, though, not just walking around loud and crying and all that. And if you can't, you know what I mean? There's plenty of times I had to be on a call with the light company or a company or that pay a bill or whatever, and I need them quiet. You make sure you get them situated, and then you go handle your business. I don't know if it's just a different time or what. I don't know. And a lot of these people come on here with kids, and the children be loud. Some of the kids be up late at night. They be in the in the car with them. It's like, no, you don't know how to put those kids, secure those kids, make sure that if you're trying to do something like this, it just, I don't know. Maybe it's just it boils down to and I don't want to be insensitive because I know what it's like raising children, so I know it's a lot, but I mean, there's ways to do it. You know what I'm saying? And you don't have to have your kids around what you're doing. You know what I'm saying? Like, or I'm hoping I'm making sense. I don't know. Successful MD says grandmothers would get rid of naps with hot combs. Right, exactly. And this, I mean, hot combs still exist. People still hot comb their hair. I don't, Anyway, thank you, Successful MD. I appreciate you, brother. Ciao. Let's continue.
You go. So Shariah, and you're 25.
Yes.
And what do you do for a living?
I'm a daycare teacher.
Daycare teacher. You a daycare teacher? Okay. What's your zodiac sign,
Leo.
honey? Leo. Have you ever been married?
No.
No. And what city you calling me from? Or state?
Oxford. Oxford, North Carolina.
North Carolina. You did tell me that. All right. So this is Shariah, North Carolina. She has. Are the twins your only children?
No, I have 5 children.
You really have 5 children?
Yes, I do.
How old are your kids, honey?
I have a 6-year-old. I have twins. They're 3. I have a 1-year-old, and I have a 2-month-old.
Shariah.
2 months.
Yes, I do.
Are they all by the same man?
3 of them. Yes.
Shariah, baby girl, who are you looking for tonight, honey?
I didn't think you was gonna pick me. I'm not really looking for nothing. I didn't think you was gonna pick me. I was just watching you on the phone.
Well, so why did you come on the show? Like, for real, for real. This is a dating show. If you didn't want that, why would you go on it anyway? Pharaoh, thank you for the super chat. It says, what happened to the Reds? We had Red Fox and Detroit Red, Malcolm X. Nowadays, it's Musty Red and this one Fugly Red. Child. Thank you, Pharaoh, for the super chat. I appreciate you. Thank you for the support, brother. She has 5 kids. And then she say 2 month old? Did she young 2 months old?
On the chair with the kids.
So do you want? I asked you in the beginning, did you want to stay? You said yes. So what do you want? Are you single?
Yes.
So do you not want to proceed, or do you want to proceed?
Oh yeah, you can proceed.
So what kind of man are you looking for, honey?
Someone who is cool, established, like just cool, down to earth. Really. You don't really have to. You gotta have something going for yourself, because I got something going for myself. I actually, I do school. I'm a single mother of 5 kids. They're well taken care of. I am young. I work. I do everything for myself, maintain for myself. I am a single parent, so you don't have to come be a stepdad. Hold on, I'm sorry. Cut it out. Huh? It's okay. You don't have to come be a stepdad or be there for my kids. You just have to respect me that I do have children. That's about it.
Shariah, I want to sit there for a second, because you have 5 children. You have a 2-month-old, a 1-year-old, 3-year-old twins, and a 6-year-old. And the kind of guy you described, he gotta have something going for himself. And I understandably so. That's the kind of guy I think everybody wants. But what would you say to the man that is concerned? Because you do have 5 kids, and you have 4 kids under the age of 5.
Yes.
We can't see your face, Shariah, honey.
Yes, I'm listening. I'm reading the comments, because they is going wild in these comments.
Well, Shariah, do you understand? I want to have a girl. I want to have a real talk for you.
Yeah.
Let's have a real talk, because I feel.
Now, before she get into her real talk, thank you, K Picture, for the super chat. Says this boogie wolf is still weaning drunk. Free game. Thank you for the super chat. I appreciate you, K Picture. Thank you. And once again, this is I grew up seeing this, honestly. Majority of the women in the community that I grew up in, slash projects, this is what it was. And so I've seen it on a daily. I've seen it. I grew up with it. The majority of the women who I went to school with were teen mothers. They had babies. Nobody was talking about marriage. They all were getting pregnant by this one, that one, and the third, having several babies. A couple of ladies had 5 and 6 kids. Never married. Of course, they didn't end up with the man because he was the local drug dealer, and they had babies by him, and that's just it. They never thought about the consequences of that. A lot of these women were raised by single mothers, all of them single mothers. There was no fathers really in the household for real. And this was the typical thing. This is not a new thing. This is something I grew up seeing. And it was just the norm. That nobody ever was taught to be wives, and and it just, and they end up, and so they don't see anything wrong with it. Oh, these my babies. I'm take care by myself. I don't need a man. And it's just the mentality. This whole I don't need a man to do this and do that to raise a family. It's been a thing. It's not new. And the majority of the women who had those kids young, they got lost. Their kids are grown now, and they still single. And it's a cycle that's constantly happening. It is not a new thing. Successful MD says she would leave someone with her tribe and ghost. Baby. Thank you, Successful MD. I appreciate you. Darius Coleman says, no effing dice. 86 immediately. Danger. Will Robinson, danger. About face. Yesterday. Thank you, Darius, once again for the super chat. I appreciate you, Darius, for being here and for the support. It's just, they really don't get it. They really don't get it. They really don't get that, how that looks to a man, because they never thought about what a man wanted, what what he's looking for. It's just never a thought. It's all about what they want. So they do have a hard time understanding the perspective of a man and why you and your kids are a liability to a good man. They don't get it. They really don't. And it's shocking to a lot of women when they hear it. Let's continue though.
I feel like sometimes there's judgment, but let's have a real talk with love. A real talk with love. What would you say to the man that is concerned? Because you do come with a lot that somebody will have to accept.
Concerned about what?
Baby girl, you have a 2-month-old, a 1-year-old, 3-year-old twins. Any man that's going to join life with you has to be willing to pay for you and your kids.
Oh, no, you don't have to pay for nothing. I'm not looking for no relationship marriage. You don't have to pay for nothing. My kids
you don't want marriage.
No, my kids are well taken care of. I'm not hopping on no boat saying nothing about marriage. That's for one.
Okay.
My kids are well taken care of.
Okay.
I don't need nothing from no one for my children. If I'm talking to someone, I'm talking to them for me. When I say you have to accept me, meaning you have to accept that I come along with children. You don't have to come in, for one, when I first started talking to you or dealing with anyone.
Yeah, but accepting that you come along with children means that they would have to accept your children. If they're gonna date you, you can't isolate the kids. What, you gonna go send the kids somewhere else? If he wants to pursue a relationship with you, or for real relationship, your kids are definitely gonna be a part of his life. You can't isolate the children. You can't have a relationship with a woman and not accept her kids. So if you're saying he has to accept that you come along with kids, means eventually if he wants to pursue you for real, those kids are going to be involved. What are you going to do? If he takes you seriously and want to buy a house, is he going to buy a house, or he going to get a 2-3 bedroom or a 2-bedroom house? He going to get a house for you and him? Is he gonna go put you in a townhouse where it's just you and him? What happens to the kids? So the kids are definitely a part of it. They're gonna have to be a consideration. I don't understand how they don't get that. Yes, what you're talking about, a screw buddy, somebody that's gonna come in and screw you and not worry about your kids and give you some money and you just take care of your kid. Come on, that's what they've been doing. You've been playing around with men who weren't serious, gave them babies, and they probably don't even take care of the kids. So I'm just saying, like, you have to understand that man is going to have to consider your kids, and that's a lot of a responsibility. So I don't understand why they don't get that. He's going to have to consider your kids if he's taking you seriously, boo. That's why I say a lot of these women don't understand it. They really don't, because they've never been faced with it. Because most men don't want to deal with somebody on a serious note with all those kids. Divine Photos, thank you for the super chat, says they say they don't need a man, but yet go on a dating show needing a man to pay their bills/debt. Modern women have the mental of a child. Mine. 100% facts. Divine Photos, thank you for the super chat. I mean, it's just what it is, and they don't see past it. Darius Coleman says, I refuse to accept another man's or men's cream pies. Exactly. And most men feel like that, and they don't. These women, thank you, Darius, once again, I appreciate you, sir. Most of these women don't understand that. They don't understand, why a man would want to be with me with all these kids. He ain't got to worry about my kids. Yes, he do. Elam says, my two high school sons and their friends are extremely selective. 10 years from now, women will be crashing out to get a man. The teen boys are just as or more savage than I was before I got married. Thank you for the super chat, Elam. I appreciate you. Divine Photo says, Kendra's show aged her 5 years horribly. Oh my God. I mean, if you gotta, I don't think I could do it. Thank you, Divine Photo. I don't think I could do it because my nerves will get bad. It's like trying to tell these young women, something is hard because they don't want to accept it and they think they know it all, but their outcomes are not showing it. Let's continue.
You're not going to meet my kids when I first start talking to you or dealing with anyone. That's a one. You have to earn that. I don't just bring people around my kids.
No, that's
and
fair.
I actually clicked on accept because I feel like people are so judgmental of people who have children.
They're not judgment. I think they're just trying to get you to see what's real. This is why I say living in a delusional land is not beneficial. You have to be realistic and understand what is really going on, ma'am. And it's no, I wouldn't, it's not real judgment. Well, it is judgment in a sense, but it's your reality. You have 5 kids, a 2-month old, and twin, and all that. That's a major responsibility for anybody coming into your life. So I think you got to you got to understand the depths of what you've created. You got to understand that that's a big deal to men. And if you're looking for a man, you want a man that's got something going on. You're not gonna be in his, in his, he's not gonna consider you because he knows, oh my God, she got 5 kids already. Damn, a 2-month old. Oh my God. So where are the fathers? Fathers might come lurking around. That's one thing they got to be concerned about. Oh, the financial load that this is going to take. May have no kids. And even if he has kids, he got to take care of his kids. Do for your kid. That's a lot. So he has to consider his options and whether this would be the best option for him. In most cases, it's not. And I don't think they realize that. I really don't think they realize that. They just think, oh, well, just come on, man. A good man, better than what I had. And I got all these kids, and that's just what it is. Pharaoh says she a waste of time. Throw her in trash with Oscar. Thank you, Pharaoh, for the super chat. Yeah, and I don't think they understand the magnitude of what they're getting themselves into. They don't understand when you create all these babies with men who are crazy. She said a man was crazy. So none of the fathers are part of the children's lives. And on top of that, they're crazy. But you gave children you don't understand how the depths of that. You don't understand how important that is. Like, you don't understand. They don't, because they've never been taught. They think it was okay. Oh, just have your baby. You can raise it by yourself. Don't worry about it. And then when they buy themselves with all the responsibility, they see how difficult it is. But when you can't find a man to come in and take on all of that difficulty, then they're wondering what's the problem. Captain Caveman, thank you for the soup chat. Says she has DoorDash. She has DoorDash to deliver chicken nuggets to the kids. She wants Smash Dash to deliver man nuggets to her. Simple Simon, child. Thank you, Captain Caveman, for the super chat. I appreciate you. Lord have mercy. Darius says, what Kendra is doing is leading a horse to water. What she can't accept is they would rather dehydrate than drink when she recommends them to do so. Good way to put it. Good way to put it, child. Maybe some of them honestly don't know any better. Darius, thank you, Darius, for the soup. Some of them don't know any better. I will tell you. You will be surprised how they don't know. They really think that this is acceptable by men. They've seen their mamas have stepdaddies and helped to raise them in some cases. So they think that this is okay behavior. They don't see the problem in it. They're like, I take care of my kids and that's all that matters. So a man should come in and he got to be accepting of that and respectful of the fact that you got all these kids by different men. And he's supposed to come behind that and do what? Like, no, yeah. Let's continue.
Or people who are young with multiple kids. Because I make it happen. I don't need no man to make nothing happen. A man is just like luxury, like a bag. A man is luxury, not meaning sex or nothing like that, but it's extracurricular activity. I don't need you to pay for shit or do shit for my kids until we make it there. That's the first part.
Yeah, but if you make it there, then he's going to be responsible for taking care of those kids. And that's a lot for a person who's been responsible the whole time and not and don't or just don't want that responsibility. That is a lot.
Okay,
But
so
yes, I do one with kids. But you don't have to come talking to me worried about no kids because my kids are fine.
well, let me jump in. Let me just jump in. A couple things. Three men. Why can't you settle down with any of the children's dads?
One is incarcerated.
Okay.
He's been in and out of jail. We was together for 4 years, and he was like crazy.
Okay. The other two.
And my oldest son, I was 18,
Okay.
and my last one, he is I don't know what the hell.
But so your oldest son, 18, oh, what that mean? You just was screwing anybody? So what does that mean? That means what? You were reckless with your body? You just was having sex and got pregnant. That's what that means. Oh, just got ain't nothing. And then the first, oh, well, he was in and out of jail, and so he wasn't the right type of guy. Now the last one, oh, he crazy too. That this is. I wish they would understand that this is a cycle that has to change. It's not going to get any better. You can't create all of that and then expect to just get the best of the best one day when you want it. It doesn't work out like that. You have to prioritize certain things in order to get certain outcomes. You have to move a certain way to get a certain outcome. You actually have to put in effort for what it is that you want in life, and you have to know what it is that you want. And I think unfortunately a lot of people don't know what they want. They don't know what to expect. They don't know what to look for. They haven't been trained or taught or figured it out for themselves, and they just you put yourself in these pickles, and then you got to pick up the pieces somehow. And this is where you have people coming on these shows looking for love. You want a man with something, got something going on, when it doesn't seem like all the other guys had anything much of anything going on who you gave children to, and now you're left with the bag having to take care of all the kids by yourself, seems like. And now you really need some help, even though they like to say, well, I don't need a man, but you kind of do. And then most men who have something going for themselves are not going to look at you and be like, oh yeah, I want her with five children is a big responsibility. Children cost money. They cost a lot. And most men don't want to take on that responsibility for children that are not theirs. That's just all it is. It's that's your life. That's what you chose. But you got to understand, these are the consequences of it, that most men don't want to deal with that. They don't want to come in. And so when you say, if it's not for you, it's not for most men. It's not for most men. Most men don't want that. Successful MD says 30 minus 18 equals 12 for the first kid. Child. Not surprising. Not surprising. Not surprising at all. Thank you for the super chat, Successful MD. Child. It's just it's bad. But this is why I wish women would pay more attention to what their choices and get it right somehow. I wish they could get it right, because this isn't new. You know what I'm saying? It's a generational thing that's constantly happening. So that means somebody is not learning anything. Just keep doing the same thing over and over. Let's continue.
To tell you about that.
Your 2-month-old baby, what's up with him?
I don't know what he got going on. He's crazy.
So Shariah, again, because I want to talk to you with love, not judgment. Is it fair to say your 3 baby daddies are not men you would want to settle down with?
Say it again.
Is it fair to say that the 3 men you have children with are not the type of man that you would want to settle down with?
Yeah, you learn with life. I wouldn't have. I would say my children saved me. Some people have kids to keep men, but I didn't have no children to keep the men. My kids saved me from certain things that I've been through in my life. I've been through a lot at an early age. So each one of my kids saved me from a different thing. So with my kids saving me, they taught me, the people I had kids with taught me a lot. They really taught me a lot of what not to settle for. Right. If you get what I'm saying.
Okay, so Shariah, you brought up the word settle, so I want to sit there for a second. So I'm trying to hear you.
Before she moves on, that's the part that gets me too. How is it? Oh, so somebody taught you something and told you what not to settle for. To me, that's the wrong advice. They shouldn't be telling you what not to settle. They should be telling you how to control your actions and what you should be doing as a woman, what you should and should not be doing. Because see, I think a lot of women take that word settle and they use it far too often, and they use it in terms of, oh, I made mistakes and I learned my lesson, so I will not settle for this, because now you've raised your expectations. Now you believe that you should be requiring. See, it's like you learned, but you didn't learn. You learned what your expectations should be from a man and not the accountability on your part. You see what I'm saying? It always goes back to what you should be accepting from a man versus what you shouldn't accept from a man. And also not taking accountability for your actions that you put yourself in these positions. So you should be learning what you should be doing as a woman, what you should, yeah, of course you should learn to have more respect for yourself and not put yourself out there like a 304, not to accept the bottom of the barrel of men. But at this point, you're 5 kids in. So now what do you do? Because the men who have standards and the men that you think you qualify for now, you don't qualify for. So if anything, they should be learning self accountability, how to get yourself to a better place mentally. And if you've gone through trauma and things in your past, how to overcome that, because that could be part of the reason why you make such poor decisions. You got to get to the root of the issue, not just, oh, I need a man to do all of this for me now. Now my expectations for a man is higher because I didn't know what I wanted back then. There's bigger fish to fry here. There's more at stake. It's not just about what you expect from a man. It's about you changing your mentality and doing better and learning how to overcome the issues that you've been through, because that is partly why you were in the situations that you're in. You didn't care about your body. You didn't care about yourself. You could care less of just out here randomly having sex with people, just creating babies, broken homes, not thinking about your future, not thinking about the children and their future. So all of that could be a direct response to what you've been through. So you need therapy. A lot of people are out here needing therapy. I say it all the time. You need to be able to deal with the trauma that you've been through, get yourself to a better state mentally, and start to understand your purpose and in your own life, not just expecting more from a man and thinking that's going to solve it. No, because if you got a man who would offer you more, you wouldn't know how to accept it. You don't know what to do with him because his mentality is much different from yours. So you are still in that old mentality, you're still fragile, you're still flawed, you still, have a lot of trauma. You have not worked through that. So how are you going to be better for the man that you say you want? And just requesting and saying, oh, I know my worth now, so I require a man to make this amount of money. He got to do all this for me. That is not the fix. That is not the fix. That's not healing. That's not, getting yourself to a better place mentally. That's just you expecting more from a man because that's what you feel and believe you deserve when you really don't. Pharaoh says, trying to be coochie buffet, Shia hoochie every day. Lord. Pharaoh, you need help, bruh. Thank you for the super chat. Pharaoh, you need some help. Thank you.
You out because the type of man that you're describing now is opposite from your children's dads, right? You want a different.
No, those are my children's dad. That's
right. But what I'm saying is the type of man that you are requesting that you want to accept you for you is a different type of guy, correct?
Yeah.
So you said you don't want to settle. Can you not understand how a man that not a guy that just wants to have sex with you? Because if a guy just wants to have sex with you, you're right. He don't care about what you got going on because all he cares about is your vagina.
Yeah.
But if there's a man that wants to take you serious, he has to be willing to accept you have a 2-month-old, a 1-year-old, 3-year-old twins, and a 6-year-old. So that man has to be in a space of saying, does this make sense for me to align myself with her?
Oh, well, I mean, if he feel like that, then he's not for me anyway.
Okay.
That's how I feel about that. That answer that really simple for me. If he feels like that, then he's not for me. Everybody has somebody that's for them.
No, they don't. That's not a true statement. There are a lot of people out here who will never get married, never have a serious relationship. There are a lot of people out here who will not have a person. And you got to understand that most men think that way. Most men think that way, especially men who have standards and men have, have this stuff together. Now, if you're talking about going back with another guy that's similar to the men that you've already been with, then that'd probably be easy because he don't really care. But if you're looking for something better, then they're gonna look for something better. You know what I'm saying? K Picture says congregation is really time to pray. Child, yep, it been time to pray. And but thank you, K Picture, for the super chat, child. You need to pray and do something else too, because I don't know. I don't know where this is headed, child. Doesn't look good. Let's continue.
If you get what
Sure.
I'm saying, when you find
You know,
that person that's for you, they're for you.
and
They're
I
gonna
don't,
accept
I'm
everything
not.
that you come with.
Here's the deal. I want to say this. I'm not a negative person. I'm a very optimistic person. But we know that saying's not true because
Right.
we know people who are alive and they never get a romantic person. Now, granted, I believe God is real and God will show up in companionship for every human being. I do believe that God will send somebody to you, but it could be a family member,
Yeah.
not always romantic situations. And we know people that live their whole lives that never end up in a romantic situation or have someone. So the saying that there's someone for everybody in a romantic situation is just not a true statement.
Say it again.
The
Because I
statement
think you
that there is,
misunderstood. I think we misunderstood each other
okay,
from
what
the
did you
last
mean when you
part
said
you
there's
just
somebody
said.
for everybody?
Say it again.
I said, what I was saying was, I don't believe there's a romantic situation for every human being on this planet.
No,
Is that what you meant?
it might not be.
Okay. What
Because
did
some
you,
people are
okay,
judgmental of people who already have children. I
say
don't
again,
feel like
baby?
I said because some people are judgmental of young people who already have children. I feel like young who have people who have children anyway, multiple children, or have different. Everybody has a different life background, if that makes sense of what I'm trying to say. So I feel like young women who have children, multiple children, or come up here like that, they judgmental about this, about a peer. Like, okay, you judge a book by its cover. But you can't always judge a book by its cover. I answer this because I don't give a fuck. You feel me? About what nobody say about this. It's not about this. Because I put on clothes, I just was chilling with my kids. But people judge you by having kids. I'm a dope mama. I'm great mom. Have all of my kids. You can look at my page. I do everything for my kids. I work. I'm a hard worker. I come with my own stuff. I might not be on the level of somebody who is what's the word I can use? Established, as in like have a career, or I might not be in their field of establishment, but I'm doing damn good to be 25 with 5 kids and bring everything on my table. So it's people on different levels for everybody. If you get what I'm saying. I don't
I do get
want
what
nobody
you're
who,
saying, Shariah, but
yeah,
again, because I want to just talk to you with love, not with judgment.
yeah,
I get what you're saying.
Yeah, she feels like she's taking care of her kids. She's doing it, for her kids and stuff. And she's doing good to say she has 5 kids and stuff. Yes, those kids need to be taken care of because the kids are the most important in the situation. They're here. That should be the focus. And I really think that should be the focus. I think the kids should be the focus. Looking for a man at this point, I don't know if that should be the focus because men are gonna want most men are not going to accept that. So I think the best thing to do, in my opinion, focus on the kids. Raise your kids, take care, make sure your kids are good, and that's it. And not find yourself in that situation again with another baby by another guy who ain't got nothing going for himself. But focus on your kids. That's the best that you could do because most men, once again, who have standards, men who are out here doing what handling business, their first option is not going to be a woman with 5 kids. That is a major responsibility. And once again, I think a lot of women don't fully understand how major that is. They don't understand how major that is, and they don't understand how that looks to men. So and you can't undo it. It's your kids, so that's why I say focus on the kids. That's it. That's it.
But you have to take responsibility for how you show up, right?
yeah,
So you talked about the 3 men that you have children with. One's
yeah.
incarcerated, one's not around right now, and I forget the third scenario. But if you
Yeah.
want if you want to attract a different type of man, you have to show up as a different type of woman. And to
Correct.
come on my show and just like whatever,
Yeah,
you're
because
not
I
gonna
was
hold
just
on,
sitting
let me
on the
finish.
chair. I didn't
You're
think
gonna
you was going to
but girl,
accept the.
but girl, we passed that because A, you
Yeah.
called me, and B, I asked you several times if you wanted to continue. So the excuse of you ain't know you was gonna be here, we passed that.
Oh, it
Okay?
was
So that's
fine with
that's not
me
an
because
excuse no
I'm
more.
fine.
That's not an
I am
excuse no
fine
more.
with my natural.
Okay,
This,
that's
if you're
fine. But
gonna
what I'm
talk to me
saying,
or
but
deal with me, this is what
baby
I'm
girl,
gonna
what
look
I'm
like.
saying is this. What I'm saying is this.
But see, this is it's combative because they want to believe the hype. They want to believe their own hype. You want to believe what you're saying, and you don't want to hear anything else really for real. This is, and I think there was a moment where she kind of was seemed a little emotional, and I think it goes back to that. A lot of women don't want to address these things because it's hurtful to them. They don't want to. They can't fathom the idea that they've made a horrible decision. When they back at it, it's like, oh damn, I done messed up. You don't want to admit that, and I think like I said, trauma, we all go through stuff. We've all probably been through something. Um, and you get over it. You get past it, you learn, you do better, and you live your life. You can't keep but unfortunately, when you bring kids, when the kids are involved, you can't undo that. Those are your kids. You got to raise them. You got to do the best you can for your kids. And I just think I don't know. Once again, I think it's something that a lot of these young women don't foresee. You don't think about the future. You don't think about how this is going to negatively affect you when it comes to healthy, stable relationships. They don't see it. They just think men gonna come in and be stepdaddies, and it ain't gonna be no problem. And then you could just air out your trauma onto him, and he's just supposed to take it because that tends to be what happens. Divine Photo says, my issue with baby mamas, they know better after the fact, after all the time. You make better choices prior to the kids. Stop bragging about being a responsible adult. Dang, I say it all the time, Divine Photos. It's you always know better after the kid. This is a common theme. Just about every woman who comes out, I'm a single mother and I know my worth now. You know your worth after. And then they even try to force this idea that somehow after you have a kid, oh, the lights just click on. No, like come on now. Y'all need to change that then. The lights need to click on before you start making babies. You know right from wrong. You know that this is what you shouldn't be doing, but you do it anyway because once again, with women, we could do what we want to do. Ain't nobody gonna tell me I'm gonna do what I want, whatever it is, what it is, because I don't give a, you don't care. It's the first thing. I don't give a f. I don't give a. I'm gonna do what I want and whatever. And that's how a lot of women think. That's the mentality of a lot of women. And then when you end up in a situation, you want to justify that too. So you can't win. And it's not gonna hurt the men who are not dealing with them. It's not going to hurt other women who already have relationships. It ain't going to hurt other people who got their lives scared. It's going to directly affect you. You're the one who's going to have to deal with your choices one way or another. You can always try to justify and say it's not this and that, to the public, but when you go home, you got to deal with that. You got to deal with your issues, the responsibilities, and you got to deal with all of it. Thank you once again, Divine Photos, for the super chat. I appreciate you. Let's continue, y'all.
You're gonna continue to attract the same type of men you had children by unless you change yourself. That's all I'm trying to
Oh
say.
my! What do I need to change by myself? Because I answer the phone in cornrows and no
Oh
wig or no
no,
makeup,
man.
or because I came on the show with 5 children. I'm 25. What do I need to change about myself? Because every day I wake up in life, I'm gonna have 5 children. I'm gonna go hustle and go get for the 5 children. So what did I need to change? Did I need to come on here with a wig? What did I need to do? Did I need to come on here with eyelashes or made up or something like that? Because outside of reality, when we go to fuck home and fuck with a nigga, this is what I'm gonna look like when I take that wig off. This is what I'm gonna look like when that hair come off. This is what I'm gonna look like when I'm sitting around the house and I'm cooking, I'm cleaning for my kids. This is what I'm gonna look like when I get up off work. This is what I'm gonna look like when I wake up every day. Baby, I'm not gonna keep the wig on all the time. I'm not gonna be boo-booed up all the time. So I came on here for the people my age, for the women that they talk down on, for the people who you might see out there and think they're ghetto ratchet or low class. I came on here for those people.
Yeah, but I mean, if that's how you gonna look every day in and day out, then that's a problem. I'm just saying that's a problem, ma'am, young lady. That's a problem. If that's how you gonna look every day in day out. That's a problem. And that shows right there no accountability. You don't even want to put much stock into your appearance. You don't have to wear wigs and all that. In fact, the men are saying they don't like all of that. But you can definitely get yourself together and present yourself in a much more presentable manner. If you're gonna have cornrows on all day red like that every day, like come on, that's another reason why a lot of men aren't gonna be interested. They don't see any. You have to be attractive to the man that want to be with you. If you're just walking out like this and that's it, then you ain't putting much thought into your appearance. That's a problem too. That's a problem too. You know what I'm saying? It's like, wow, that's you gonna look like this every day, all day, every day. That's the issue there. And to get to what I really want to say is, it's not about the wigs and all that. It's about your mentality. If you say you've been through a lot of things, then that means you need a lot of work. That means you got to work on yourself. You got to work on yourself internally and externally. You got to do some soul searching. You got to start to get your mentality right, because you will be no good for a good dude. Hell, there might be a guy who find you attractive, but once he gets to talking to you and really figuring out who you really are, you might run him away because you're not prepared for the type of things that you say you want. A lot of women in general are asking for stuff that they are not prepared for. They talked about emotional intelligence. You're not prepared for an emotionally intelligent man because he's not going to deal with your bullshit. He's not going to deal with all the stuff that you trying to put him through. These men who have worked on themselves are not going to fall for the BS that these women think they can pull over on them. And so this is why I say it's not just a physical thing. It's an internal thing too. It's a mental thing as well. You can't tell me that you've been traumatized and you've been through a whole lot of your life. And on top of that, we see you have 5 kids and you're only 25. You can't tell me you've been through a bunch of stuff and there's no mental, psychological damage there, because there is. So that stuff, it just don't go away. And typically when you get in a relationship, that's when all of the trauma comes out. This is why people don't stay in relationships, because they're fighting. You're steadily fighting in a relationship the way you would fight as if fighting with your demons, or fighting with your past trauma and things you've been through. We all have it or have had it. And so that doesn't go away overnight. That's something you have to work on, baby. I'm going to tell you, you got to work on that. You don't just wake up one day and get a man. Oh, I'm all good and I'm so peaceful and I'm so loving with all the trauma you've been through. It don't work like that. It don't work like that. And I wish a lot of more specifically younger women understand that your trauma does not just vanish. There are a lot of people taking their trauma out on their kids. There are a lot of people taking the trauma out on their family members, on loved ones, on people who they're in relationships with. And the relationships, either you're going to run that person through the ringer, or they're not going to be able to tolerate that. They're not going to be able to deal with that. So those are things you have to work on. You can't, you just don't brush that off. And the fact that, in my opinion, that she has 5 kids at 25, that shows and displays a lot of the trauma that she may have went through, because that's a lot. And so somebody coming into that is not going to they're not going to want to come into that because they understand the magnitude of what that would take to maintain. And then on top of that, if you think you could wear your hair like that 24/7 every day and they just got to get used to it, that's a major big problem too. I'm sorry. And I'm not trying to be funny. I'm being honest. That's a problem, because you should want to present yourself in a much better way for yourself and for yourself and for the person that you're going to be with. That's a part of growth as well. Maintaining a certain level of you, that you wouldn't feel comfortable going outside or coming into the public just dressed any old kind of way. It's not about a wig. You got to put no damn wig on. Comb your hair, groom yourself, style yourself, look presentable. That's it. That's setting the tone for how you want people to treat you. The way you present yourself says a lot about who you are. And if that is not who you are, why would you want to be represented in that way? So these are things that I realize a lot of young people need to learn, that they were not taught this. They have no knowledge of it. They really don't. And you think that sometimes, I think we could get caught up thinking that because we learned something or we know something that everybody else knows it. That is not the case. Everybody don't learn this stuff all at the same time. So people are on different levels or different times in their lives. You may have learned something and you're ahead in the area. Somebody else is far behind and don't get it. So I do understand we have to respect that people don't get everything when we get it. You got to understand, if you when you've learned something, maybe that person don't know, and there are a lot of people out here who don't know what it is they're talking about. But the key to it all is listening, being open to listening to a different perspective, so that you can, because if what you're doing is not working and you're having a hard time, you might want to listen to learn something that may help you. That's all I'm saying. Be open to knowledge and learning something differently, because if you weren't taught it, you don't know about it, you don't know if it's beneficial or not until you try, because things that you've done are not very beneficial or haven't been. So maybe you should be open to something new. You know what I'm saying? Let's continue.
And I look like this when I'm sitting around the house. So me, those type of guys that I have accepted in my past, that's really, I was learning. I was 18 when I had my first child, and when I got in my relationship, I was 21. I stayed in there, and I had my kids. That's fine. If a dude want to judge me off that, that's cool. But this is what I'm gonna look like. This is natural beauty. I mean, my head ain't done. That's fine. That is cool. But this is what I'm gonna look like up under their stuff. Some people would never come up here. What they look like up under their wig. What they look like up in the morning. But when I wash my face, this is what the skin gonna look like. It ain't bumpy. It ain't dirty. When I pull that wig off, this is what the cornrows gonna look like. And I'm fine with it. But no, I don't go out in the store.
But I'm like, you might be fine with it, but the person you who's looking at this, like the potential man or friend or companion or whatever you want looking at this, may have a problem with it. And if you got an attitude of I don't give a care about that, then why should he care? You know what I'm saying? Just saying. Sam, she got a whole basketball lineup on the bench, child. Thank you for the super chat, Sam. I appreciate you. Let's continue.
Or and on public and stuff like that with no damn looking crazy now. But yeah, so I mean those
This
two,
is.
but I think
This is the public.
that was not a true statement.
Well,
Because
what did I say that wasn't a true statement?
the way you said it didn't make sense to me. I didn't understand the way you said it.
Well, okay. Well, let me try to explain, because I want to give you the respect of saying what you have to say and listening to what, and I want to honor you and listen. You described the men that you had children by. I don't know this.
The men that I had kids
No.
with, where one
Wait, on. Hear me out. The men that you described, you told me you have a baby by a man that is, you have a 2-month-old, you don't know what's up with that father.
Well, when I say I don't know what's up is, I don't want to be, he's a good father for my child, but I don't want to.
Well, let me just continue, because I want you hear me, and you could take it or leave it. You don't have to honor it. You don't have to accept it, right? Then you have a child's father that's incarcerated, correct?
Yes, I do. 3 of my kids.
And then what's the other child's situation?
We was 18, so he's gone. We went our separate ways.
Okay.
We was
so what I'm saying is, if you want a different type of man, a man that might be professional, doesn't have a criminal background, a stand-up guy, whether we want to be honest or not, appearance is always going to be important to him. Not saying you got to come down here wig down. I'm not saying you got to come down here wig down. There's women with their natural hair that look beautiful. They don't need wigs. Your skin is beautiful. I'm not saying anything about makeup, but presentation does matter to the type of men that y'all say y'all want. So yes.
Well, presentation matters when I understand that, but like I was saying, I came up here and NASA didn't really care about that, because this is what I'm doing. Like, I don't really.
Shariah. What I'm saying is that's Shariah. What I'm saying is that's your prerogative, and you don't have to change. You can be who you are, but all I'm saying is you're gonna keep attracting.
No, because when I step outside and I go out, I have myself accordingly. The people that I can track is when I go out, my kids are clean. My kids don't have dirty clothes on. They're all.
But nobody's talking about the kids at this point. She's talking about her appearance, how you present yourself when you go outside. This is social media is like outside. People, and then you're going to be exposed to more people. So you got to treat this like what it is, your public appearance. So this is what people are going to see. You're on a public platform saying you're looking for somebody. So when they look at you, they're gonna hurry up and click pass, for the most part. You're not gonna get, and if you don't care, why even go in the first place? Why even subject yourself to this if you don't care? Whitney R, thank you so much for the super chat, says, I've been told by several people that the divorce rate is high when young people get married. I always wonder if it's true. I don't know the stats on that. And once again, I don't know the stats on that. I don't know if they're higher. I particularly don't think that they are, but I don't have the real statistics on it. But I think a lot of people assume that, because there are people who get married young and divorced, and then they on their second marriage, they usually get married again. But I think there was a stat that said that people who get married young typically get married again. I don't know the stats on it. I don't think that number is super high. I think the number clearly is higher amongst women, black women in particular, who will, who will never get married, and the majority of women are the ones who actually leave the marriages. The men don't leave, the women leave. So I don't know the specific stats. If somebody have them, they can pull it up. But I don't think, but I could be wrong, that the numbers among young people is super high. I don't think that. I think from what I could see, but once again, that's not the numbers. The people that I've known who've gotten married young, they're still married. But there are some who got divorced too. So I don't know what the numbers are on that. But I know the longer you wait to get married, it's less likely that you would. The older you get, the less likely you'll be able to get married. The less likely you'll be able to find a companion that is, that you deem worthy, that women deem worthy of, or men too. Men, I don't know. It's just as you get, the longer you wait, you usually have less chances of getting married. So I'll say that. I don't know the stats on that. But thank you once again for the super chat, Whitney R. I appreciate you. Divine Photo says, Marlon Wayne said it best. Men aren't here to fix your trauma. It's a therapist's job and you to heal yourself, not our responsibility to fix your past. I agree once again. Thank you, Divine Photos, for the super chat. I agree. It's not a man's responsibility to make you happy either. If we have roles, we have parts that we play. You play your part, he plays his part. Y'all accepted and decided y'all wanted to be together. You be together. And you build a life together, and you of course you're not doing things in a relationship to cause turmoil, and you just trying to make each other unhappy. No, you want to be happy with each other, but when it comes to your trauma and the things that you got to deal with or you've been through in your life, that's for you to fix. Your husband is not the person who's the therapist, like you said, who's going to come in and fix all of that. He didn't go to school for that. He didn't go to school for therapy. He didn't become a therapist. He's your husband, so he's not. That's not for him to fix. That's for you to figure out and fix. And you are responsible for your happiness. And I think when you are a happy person, or you've worked on yourself, and I think we're all working on ourselves. I don't think you ever stop, to be honest, but you get to a better place. And I just think that it's up to you to do that. So that if you get yourself to a better place, you will be in a better place for the man or the woman that you want. You know what I'm saying? You can be with someone and y'all can work together and continuously build on that. The idea that a person come into a relationship whole, I don't know if that even exists. I don't think any of us are completely whole, to be honest. That's just my thoughts. Now I could be wrong, but in the way that people look at it, like meaning you have no flaws, you got it all figured out, you got it all together. I don't think none of us are at that place. I don't think none of us are at that place to where we got it all figured out and we all together, we have no flaws and we don't make no mistakes and we just a perfect individual. I don't think none of us are there, and I don't think we will probably ever get there, but I think you can get to a better place of understanding yourself, understanding what your issues are, what your triggers are, and you can work around it. And then the person that you with knows what they are, and y'all work on each other, and you don't come from a place of malice or a place of hurt, trying to hurt each other. You're actually in a relationship to make it work, not in a situation where y'all competing and one is trying to do better than the other, and you're only there to try to one up this one and do all that, because that's only going to cause more problems. But if you're genuinely in a relationship to make it work, you can make it work. It's up to you to do it. And it's a work in progress. It's something that you work on every single day. You wake up and it's a choice. You choose to be happy. You choose to not let little things get to you. You choose not to be triggered by any little thing. It's part of you conditioning yourself to understand that it's a choice. It doesn't have to be that way. You could choose to speak to a person in the right way as opposed to coming at them crazy. You know what I mean? Coming at them with an attitude for no reason. And women tend to do this. We hear women always talk about, my issue is a lot of times when they'll say they'll be honest about what part of their issues are. And a lot of times it's, oh, my mouth. I got to work on my mouth. How many times have we heard women say that on Kendra's show? Oh, my mouth. I got a slick mouth. You hear a lot of women say that because they do. They talk to you crazy. And they're used to doing that. And it's not cute. And it becomes disrespectful. And I don't think anybody wants to deal with that. You see what I'm saying? So there are a lot of people know what their triggers are and they know what their issues are. But whether they want to work on them or not is a whole nother story. Thank you, Divine Photos. I appreciate you. So, it's a matter of, that's why accountability is so important, in my opinion. You got to be willing to understand and accept what you are, where you come from, what your issues are, and then work on them. Success Emily says, don't build a hyena up for her to return to Pookie. Child. Right. Thank you, Successful MD. Child. Pookie one and done. Pookie done moved on. Pookie don't want him after he gave him after he's giving you a baby child, he done. On to the next. Let's continue.
Always clean.
No one said your kids have.
I'm saying when I go out, I make sure I'm groomed and I'm wished out. But when I come back in the house, if I pull that wig off, I'm pulling that wig off. That's the only problem that I see here is that I don't have on wig and lashes and hair is not.
Well, no, baby, it's not just that. You don't have on wig, you don't have on lashes, you have kids crying in the background. You have a lot of things a man has to think about, and this is not judgment.
Oh well, kids are gonna
just
cry.
What it
You
is.
can't accept the kids are gonna cry. That's fine, because my kids are gonna cry. They're toddlers.
No, and I receive that. Like, I'm really not trying. I think I'm just trying to give both sides of the spectrum. And when I was just saying
you're saying with a guy.
You keep talking over me, but when you was talking, I listened. Can I get the same respect?
To what you're saying,
can I get the same respect? Can I get the same respect? When you talk, I really want to tear you out. So can you do the same for me?
Yeah, sure.
Okay. All I'm trying to do is enlighten you. If you want a different type of man than the men you have children with, you have to show up as a different type of woman. There's nothing to do with your kids. I'm not saying we know your kids are black.
I'll call back on the later show if that's what you want me to come back looking different, because either way, when I see it coming off and I want to.
No, baby, don't call back on another show. I think the person they've seen enough. They've seen enough. Don't call back on another show. Don't go on any of these shows ever again. Focus on your kids and yourself. That would be my opinion. Not trying to sound mean, but don't go on another show. Don't pop up no more. Focus on your kids and stuff, because that's the most important. That's it. All this other stuff you talking about and all this, it ain't gonna really matter. It really ain't. It really ain't gonna matter, because if you're looking for an upstanding man who has the stuff together, he's looking for something a little bit more different. That's all. No shade. He's not looking for a woman with 5 kids, like this. DeeDee, this is why I want to make and sell a maybe we can go in business together, baby. Listen, Lord have mercy. Back a little while back, the wigs used to be really expensive. They've gotten a lot cheaper now, though. The wigs are getting cheaper. Oh, Lord. Thank you for the super chat. Successful MD, baby. Listen. I am not mad. Listen. I ain't gonna even lie. I ain't mad at I have wigs. I told y'all I wear it all. People be acting shocked like when they don't know that when I say that. I've been saying that since I came on this platform. I wear wigs. I have not worn a wig in a minute. Like, I don't wear wigs. I've never worn wigs like that. I will wear them like occasionally. You know what I'm saying? But I've worn them. I don't wear. And then, look, I wear it all. I said it before. Look, my husband loves when I switch it up. He does not mind. He likes to switch up. he liked the idea that I switch it up. And I think some men do, you know what I'm saying? But my husband gets to see every part of me. So he's seen it every part. So I mean, nothing, it's nothing new to him. But look, ain't nothing wrong with a good wig. It's how you wear it though. It gotta look good. Like you can't just throw it on and it's cocked to the side and it looks a hot mess. And listen, I know men, I hear men who say, oh, thank you, successful MD once again for the super chat. I know men are saying, hey, they like more natural. They like women who don't wear wigs and things. And I think that's respectable. I think if that's your preference and that's what you like, go for that. You go for that. Go for a woman who wears her natural hair all the time. And if that's what you're attracted to, there's no problem with that. But, like I said, to each his own. There are men who say they would prefer natural. And most do. But I mean, everybody's not the same. And I say this for men who are out here looking for women and stuff. They're saying, hey, they want natural or whatever. So you got to look for a woman who has the qualities that you want. Don't go after a woman who wear wigs. Don't go after a woman who wear weaves and things like that, because that's not what you want. Go for what you want. Successful MD says they pay top dollar for style custom wigs. For real. For real. For real. But I'm just saying, like, the wig game is cheaper now. It used to be I remember when, oh Lord, this friend of ours, I don't know if I would call her, well, she was like it was this lady we knew, and I knew her, and my husband, knew her husband. They kind of worked together a little bit. They were kind of like low-key business partners. They had a little business they had working out for a short period of time. And she was just starting to sell the lace wigs. This was some years ago when the lace wigs weren't as popular. And back then the lace wig was going for about $1,000. She was selling them. They were going for about $1,000 back then, when they first came out. And this was like, that was the human hair, lace wig or whatever. And she had one that she showed it to me, and it was nice. But they were going for like $1,000 at that time. And that was years ago. Now you're not paying, you don't have to pay $1,000 for a lace wig. You can pay $100 for a lace wig, a human hair lace wig, $200 for a human hair lace wig. Some of the cheapest, that's $80 I've seen them. So yeah, you don't have to spend $1,000 for a good lace wig anymore. Yeah, they're a lot cheaper. They're a lot cheaper. But I'm just saying, listen, I understand men saying, yeah, they want natural, so they don't even want the women wearing, and they want you to keep buying those wigs. So the wigs, if you buy a bunch of them, they could add up. Thank you, Successful MD. Let's continue the last little part of this, y'all.
Look like this. You're saying kids crying in the background. I come with children. They're going to cry.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is, yes, so you want a different type of man right now. You want a man that you could build.
I don't want no different type of man.
I don't know. What do you want, Shariah? I'm sorry.
I'm not understanding what you're saying, because the kids are crying in the background. The kids are going to cry. If you come to my house and I have my children, they're going to cry. But if we go out, I don't go out with children. If we're going on dates, but if you come to my house, my children are going to cry, because I have children. They are toddlers. So what are you saying about that? That's what I'm not understanding.
Well, let me jump in. Some things that I've heard from men, and again, these are different types of men that you don't have kids by. Some men, they work all day. They have a hard day at work. They are out in this world. They might not want to come home and then have to deal with children that might not be theirs.
Oh, well, that's not my type of person. That's what I was saying at the beginning. If you're going to judge me off gate, if you're going to judge me about me having 5 kids, then you're not for me.
Okay,
if you're going to judge me because my kids are going to whine or cry, you're not for me. That's what I was saying. I'm for someone that's for me.
So let's just break it down. Let's just go to the north. Do you want to continue? It's up to you.
Say it again.
Do you want to continue? It's up to you.
Oh, that's fine.
Okay. So what are your deal breakers? You gave us, let's start from the top. What kind of man are you looking for?
Someone that's going to accept me for me. Someone who's not going to judge me off having children and assume that I have children, that you have to come along and play stepfather or be there for my children, because they are well taken care of. You will see that if you ever talk to me or deal with me. That's the 1 and 2.
Okay, let me just ask you one question about that. That. So you don't want to get married ever?
Not right now, no.
Okay, so marriage is not a goal.
No, not right. For me, praise him now, because Nowadays, our reality is marriage just like being in a relationship
There we
with a
go.
girlfriend, boyfriend right now.
See,
How people are doing now, marriage is not really like, it's not the same that it's what it used to be. My morals is still stand by. Yes, marriage is part of a goal in the long run or whatever. But for me, marriage right now, hell no. I don't want to get married right now.
Okay.
but that, you know how backwards that is, you know? This is how jacked up a lot of women, this is the way they think, and this is horrible. Marriage is not a thought, but 5 babies by different men is okay. It's so backwards that and that's okay. Creating broken homes is okay, but not the children not having fathers is okay. But marriage is, oh, I don't know if I want that. That's alone, but oh, because they say, oh, marriage is like boyfriend and girlfriend, and they break up and they don't, and it ain't no good either there. But the choices that you made, it ain't no better. You know what I'm saying? The choices you're making is no better, but you're comparing horrible choices against horrible, supposed horrible choices. I don't understand. Like, so what do y'all expect? What do you? I don't know. My 2 cents. Thank you for the super chat. Says, dang lady, it's called introspection. She got to come back for everything. How can a man deal? Exactly. That's my thoughts. My 2 cents. Like everything, you got something to say because they don't want to accept it. But you know, you ain't really getting the outcomes you're looking for, baby. Because you wouldn't be on Kendra G show if that was the case. If you got a man that cares about you and your kids, we wouldn't even see. We wouldn't have seen her on this show. You'd be living your life. Thank you, my 2 cents. You would be living your life. We wouldn't even get to see what your hair looked like because you wouldn't be. It wouldn't even be a thing. You would have your man and your kids to take care and living your best life. But it's all backwards. It's all back. Marriage, ooh, Lord, it's a boogeyman scare. You don't know if they're going to cheat and they're going to do this and all this. And a lot of women cheat. A lot of them cheat and leave their husbands to go off and do what they want to do. Horrible, horrible decision after horrible decision. And there's no accountability whatsoever. So having multiple kids by different daddies, ooh, that's bad. Your children don't know the daddies. They all crazy. And that's not scary to you, but getting married is scary. Insane.
Fair enough. She doesn't want to be married. What else do you want, baby? Try to keep the phone in your face.
Someone who believes in the person that they're with. You got to believe in the person that you're with.
Okay. What are your deal breakers?
Just somebody who don't have nothing going on for themselves, or someone who don't believe in the person that they're with. Someone who judges you off. Just, I don't know. Deal breaker is just someone who is not for me.
Okay.
If you're gonna be for me, you have to be for me. Don't come to me and then don't be for me.
Okay.
Meaning, don't come to me and complain about the things that my life is gonna come with. Everybody's life comes with different packages. My life comes with 5 children. My life comes with, before I'm anything, I'm a mother. That's my life. That's what I come with.
I understand. Does he have to look a certain way?
Now, as long as you clean and well groomed, because I'm all about clean and hygiene.
Say one more time.
Clean and hygiene, well groomed. Clean and good hygiene. Good hygiene.
Clean.
Good hygiene. Does he have good hygiene?
Okay. Does he have to make a certain amount of money? Hello, Shariah?
No, long as you work. Long as you work, you can take care of yourself. Because I come with 5 kids. So I work and take care of myself and my 5 kids. So you got to have your own table. Because right now, I feed my table.
Wait, Shariah, we're going in and out, honey.
Oh, wow. Okay, baby. I think I had enough. I had enough, and you got to watch yourself, because as women, we are emotional and we have feelings. So, I start feeling sorry for her in a sense, but she may not want me to feel sorry for her. Kind of feel bad for her in a sense because I think a lot of these women have been misguided. They have not been given the right tools or, they have not been given the information they needed to get out here and do things the right way. And the fact that she says she's been through a lot, that speaks to that. And like I said, this is what I grew up around. This is what it was. And nobody ever really talked about marriage and they thought about it like, oh, maybe possibly if I could, I would want it, but they know nothing about it. Nobody, they watch traumatic relationships with their mothers. There were no fathers around. And so sometimes You repeat the cycle. But then the thing with that is though, you still don't have any type of other experiences or understanding. You just think that's just what it is, and you don't know what to do. But then when you try to tell people something, try to give people a little bit of tip, little information, they don't want to hear it. They become combative because that's what they know. All you know is combativeness and trauma and toxicity. That's it. So what can you can't really talk to a person when they know it all, even though or they feel lost or they don't want to hear you. You can't keep talking to them. You got to leave them alone. Leave them to their own devices. That's all you can do. Rick H. Town says, just want to make it clear, she is not a representation of all black women, but this one here just needs to suffer. Thank you so much for the super chat, Rick. Rick, I appreciate you. Yeah, and of course, I don't think that she's the representation of black women. It's just that that's her representation. And I think you have to be mindful of that. You know what I mean? You when you presenting yourself and looking for something, you got to present yourself in the best light to get the best outcome, right? And I think that's something that some people don't focus on. I meant too far gone, not suffer. Oh, okay, gotcha. Thank you, Rick. I appreciate you. So yeah, I mean, this is how a lot of young women think, though. You would be surprised that this is more prevalent than you think. This is why it's the sisterhood of delusion. They all think the same, and they think that that's what it is. Other women have caped for each other and said, "You don't need no man to raise your kid." I've been seeing that too since I was young. You don't need a man. You can raise your kid by yourself. And it was not the era in which I grew up wasn't a shaming era. It was a oh, you got a baby, you pregnant, oh girl, you're right, it's almost was celebrated. Oh, you could take care of your baby by yourself, you don't need no man, girl, you could take care. That's what I heard them saying when a young girl in the neighborhood get pregnant. Oh, she got a baby, and it's almost as if they celebrated it. Oh, I always wanted, and the mamas, the single mamas, oh, I always wanted to be a grandmother. You would think that they would be the ones, speaking against it because they were single mothers. No, but they congratulated. Oh yeah, this and that and that. And then when it gets tough, I've seen when they have the babies and they, babies getting older, the mamas gonna start telling them, you better go out and get you a job because I need help here. Now you want them to help you. They gotta go to job. Some of them don't even want to watch the baby. It's not their responsibility, but it's a lot that comes with that. That's why I wouldn't advise anybody to go out here just all willy-nilly making babies and stuff. Because you're setting yourself up for a hard life. You really are. You're setting yourself up for a hard life. And, every woman, out here that's possibly been a teen mother or had a baby out of wedlock didn't turn out bad. There are a lot of women who have excelled and they're doing really well for themselves. But I really wish, but a lot of them, they don't really speak on it like I am. They don't really speak to it and try to convince or tell young people that that's not the route to take. Yeah, that you made it out, but it was hard and don't go that route. They'll just kind of promote it low key, like, yeah, it was hard and I made it out and I'm successful. So, but and you could do it too. So you could be a single mother, but you're telling them they could be a single mother and they could make it out, but that's not everybody's story. And it's more than likely that they're going to struggle harder and they may not be as successful as you are because it's not a common, it's not likely. It's possible, but not likely. And so why not tell them, hey, don't become a single mother, focus on that. Don't do that. They don't, a lot of times they don't clearly state to these young women what they should be doing because they kind of low key glorifying it in a sense. So, something's got to change. But once again, this has been happening as long as I've been alive. So I don't know if it's going to change anytime soon. It's just constantly there and getting worse. Q, the one says confirmation biases is why, because if someone is in their same situation yet chose differently and had better outcomes, then the only thing left is them and their decisions, right? Until damn near 2004, 2005, and the advent of social media, why behaviors were not known. Now the whole world sees what goes on. Right. I know a single mother that is now a school teacher, had a child young. So yeah, I mean, you gotta take care of yourself and live your life. So you figure out a way. They all going to school and getting all these degrees so they can get a job. To take care of themselves and their kids. But a lot of them are still complaining and still struggling by themselves because they can't find. They thought they would find a husband no matter what, and that a man will come in and rescue them and give them the lifestyle that they want, and that's not happening. You know what I'm saying? It will not change. It's only going to get worse. And you're right, Mrs. Fluellen. That's what we see now. It's getting worse. And child, I'm still going to have some glimmer of hope that it might get better some way. Somebody gets better and learns something out of all these conversations that we're having about this, right? So listen, I'm going to go ahead and leave it there, y'all. Make sure y'all hit the like button on your way out. Make sure you are supporting the channel by watching the videos posted on the channel, sharing and like them. Leave a comment. Let me know that you watched it. Also, hit that notification bell to be notified when I upload new content or go live. Make sure you guys are doing that as well. And yeah, that is it. I got to get out of here. Thank y'all once again for supporting the channel and showing up for me. I appreciate you so much for that. Q to one, thank you so much for the super chat. Says for you and your efforts. Thank you. I appreciate you. Thank you so much for the support, Q, the old one. I'm sorry. Thank you once again. I appreciate shout out to everybody who gave super chats and cash apps. Everybody who liked the stream. I appreciate you for doing that. That definitely helps the channel out. So make sure you are. What's going on, Alex? I didn't see you in here. What's going on, Alex? Make sure y'all continue to just watch the videos that are already posted. Y'all help get those views up on those videos as well. So I'm out of here. Thank y'all once again for watching. Y'all be safe out here in the streets. Y'all take care, and I will see you really, really soon. Mwah.